which is called rectangle. We have a bullish and a bearish variant. Let's begin with the bullish rectangle first. Remember that now we are talking about continuation patterns, so they signal that price will resume its current direction after the pattern is confirmed. A rectangle happens when price begins to oscillate sideways, and the resulting highs and lows form horizontal lines. That will make the pattern resemble the shape of a rectangle, and that's where the pattern name comes from. The logic behind the rectangle as a continuation pattern is that price has been trending for a while, and now there is some consolidation bound to happen since the market cannot keep rising or falling forever. If you are a beginner, you eventually notice that price is always oscillating between these two modes. It's either trending or going sideways. I'm obviously oversimplifying this, but for the purposes of this video, this is a valid perspective. The proper way to trade a bullish rectangle is to wait for price to break above the line that connects the highs and to retrace back to that line to test it as support. This is the optimal scenario, of course, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes price breaks that line and just keeps going. This can be a problem because if you are an anxious trader, you will try to chase price once it breaks the pattern. That can end badly. The logical stop loss is below the lows 2 and 4 because as price breaks the upper line to the upside, it will usually confirm a demand zone around 2 and 4, so you can count on the help of those buyers to protect your stop loss order. The take profit should be at least 3 times as large as the stop. Remember that a continuation pattern implies that price is trending, so you might as well take advantage of that. It's important to remember that there can be more highs and lows contained inside the rectangle. Rather intuitively, we also have the bearish rectangle pattern, which happens when price is going down, and after the pattern is confirmed, price will probably continue going downwards. The logic behind the pattern and the way to trade is exactly the same as the bullish rectangle, of course. The only thing that changes is the side you're looking to trade. When price breaks below the line connecting the lows of the rectangle and retraces back to this line to test it as resistance, that's the time to open a short trade with a stop above highs 2 and 4. By the time price breaks below the lower line, it will usually confirm a supply zone around highs 2 and 4, so you can count on those sellers to help you. One of the problems you will find with these simple chart patterns is that price will oftentimes retrace much deeper and closer to the supply or demand zones, so you'll find that these patterns are actually a very inaccurate way of trading. This is why learning supply and demand trading is a better idea than following these simplistic patterns. Not always, of course, but for the most part, they are not the best way of trading at all. However, some people find it easier to look for these patterns instead of analyzing price in a more organic way. The next pattern we are going to overview is called flag, and it's similar to the rectangle in a way, but it has a few extra twists. Starting with the bullish flag first, imagine that you take a bullish rectangle and rotate it in a way that both lines become downsloping. The pattern receives this name because it's supposed to resemble the shape of a flag, the trending part of price being the pole and the consolidation being the flag. Once again, a simple analogy, but might be useful for quickly recognizing the pattern in a visual way. The confirmation for the bullish flag happens when price breaks above the upper downsloping line, and then retraces back to it to test it as support. One advantage of the flag over the rectangle is that since we are dealing with a downsloping breakout line, price needs to retrace deeper in order to signal a trade. That means your entry will be closer to your stop, and therefore it will take less risk. The stop loss should be below the lowest low in the flag. The take profit should be at least 3 times as big as the stop. The bearish flag is exactly the opposite, so imagine that you take a rectangle and rotate it in a way that both lines become upsloping. The confirmation for the bearish flag happens when the price breaks below the lower upsloping line, and then retraces back to test it as resistance. One advantage of the flag over the rectangle is that since we are dealing with an upsloping breakout line, price needs to retrace deeper in order to signal a trade. That means your entry will be closer to your stop, and therefore you'll take less risk. The stop loss should be above the highest high in the flag, and the take profit should be at least 3 times as big as the stop. The next pattern we are going to study is also very simple. It's exactly the same shape for the bullish and bearish variations. The pattern is called pennant.